Okay, so if you go to some of these names, the one thing with RFK that's very different, and with Ross Perot that's very different, both of these guys are 100% true believers.
Yes.
They're not acting. There is no acting with RFK. RFK is like, this is who I am. Listen, as an environmental lawyer, this is the guy that if he's gonna sue you, this is RFK if he sues you. You know who he is? You know how sometimes most lawyers, they wanna sue you, what do? Lazy lawyers. What do lazy lawyers do? They set up a meeting, hey man, look, my client's got this, you're probably not gonna get this, it's probably gonna be 3 years over this, and they're gonna say, why don't we settle this for 2 years and $500,000 and da. That's what lazy lawyers do. And 90% of lawyers are lazy. They just wanna settle behind closed doors. Then you have the 10%, then you have the 1%, then you have the 0.1% of the annoying lawyers. RFK is that annoying lawyer you don't want to go up against. And he found, how many hours do you think he spent writing that book to research everything he possibly can on Fauci? So the reason why I'm saying this, when a person put that much time, business owners, there's gonna come a time when you run a company that you hit a breaking point. And this breaking point is the following. It's like playing poker. Yeah, you're playing poker and you're like, all right, you're slow play. You're like, yeah, shit, 50%, you know, river. Yeah, I'll go again, another one. And then comes the river. And you don't know if the guy hit it because you missed it, but you got a nice, decent pair, but you don't know if the guy hit the river, he got his flush or the straight or whatever maybe, right? You have to sit there and you got to be like, you either like, yeah, I'm good, I'm out, or you're, okay, I'll call you. RFK is all in. There is no going back with RFK. This is not a guy that's having somebody telling him what to tell the world. RFK doesn't have a marketing guy telling him, say this, say that, say this. He's such a true believer and fearless that he's telling you what he believes in, and he doesn't give a shit if you like it or not. He's exposing these guys. There is something very attractive. By the way, marketing isn't about, yeah, Tony Robbins, and you can do it. Yeah. That's not marketing. RFK, with his voice, but because he's going so deep in the way he exposes everybody, that is a form of marketing and storytelling and exposing. I think this guy is going to go. The Democrats are going to trash him. I think the Democrats haven't even started with the whole demonizing of addict, heroin, did you know this, ex-wife. I don't think they've even started yet. Like, they're going to start in about 6 to 12 months. Watch when they start trashing RFK, saying stuff that's so embarrassing, they're just hanging on to that. And they're going to make the call. You know what he's going to say? He's going to say, go right ahead, man. You guys have played this on me for a long time. He's not going to let him do that. And then, when behind closed doors, he's by himself, and he's not on the debate stage with Biden, and he's going to be by himself sitting there saying, you killed my dad, you killed my uncle. 28 years old, I went through a 14 year of dealing with drugs because what you guys, the establishment, did to ruin my family, and look what you've done now. You've divided. My own sister's publicly calling me out. No problem. Watch, I'm doing this now for my dad you guys killed. I get the chills thinking about that fire. You can't fabricate that fire. When I look at RFK, I see that fire. It's very unique. It's not a, can you give me the 17 scripts on what to say to hit this point, hit this point? He's not that guy. This is a true believer. So this is why I believe for him, it would be a shame, and I'll say this, if he's watching this, it would be a shame if the Democrats don't give him the stage and the time to sell his time. He's like, yeah, get out of here. Just why don't you step it out like Hillary Clinton, step out of the way like they did to Bernie, Elizabeth Warren, all those other guys. It would be a shame if he didn't run as a third party. It would be a shame. If I'm a betting man, I would be so disappointed if RFK didn't run as a third party. I would be so disappointed and surprised if he didn't eventually run as a third party. You have to. They're not going to give you the stage time, and your message has to be heard by everybody. There's a reason why you're doing so well. There's a reason why when you talk, he goes on a podcast, like I'll go on, the way I gauge it, I'll go on YouTube, right? So I'll say, all right, let me see how that guy did as an interviewee, as a guest, not interviewer, right? How do you do as a guest? Because some people are very good interviewers, but they're not good guests. You can go on a guest. Nobody wants to watch your podcast because once they watch 1 or 2 of your videos, it's the same stories. They kind of know what you are. You can't give opinions on this and this and this and go 7 layers deep on finance and 6 layers deep on politics and family and this and like, we already know what you stand for. It's done, right? And you go on YouTube, I'll go on Fox, and I'll say, okay, DeSantis is on. How many views? 160,000 views. Damn. 728,000 views. Man, Vivek was getting 30,000 views. Then he was getting 40,000 views. Now 280,000 views. Interesting. So RFK, 2.8 million, 2.2 million, 1.6 million. And he talked about this, and he talked about this. Guys, it's so difficult to compete with a true believer. And again, if I am a betting man, he's going to run as a third party. All he's thinking about is dad and his uncle and the legacy of the men who came before him, that they killed him. The establishment killed his dad and his uncle. Two of his heroes they killed. That doesn't go away. That doesn't go away. And sometimes in a family, you know, it's like a crisis takes place. You don't know which of the guys, like you almost have to kill everybody in that family because that's going to stay. And they didn't kill this guy. Sometimes you kill the wrong guy. And you're like, yeah, we have to be careful with that guy. Don't worry, that guy just wants the girls.
Yeah.
He just wants to be on cover magazines. That guy in the back that you didn't kill was the one that loved mom, dad, legacy more than anybody else. You screwed up. And guess what? 30 years later, wake up call. He's been waiting for this moment. That's what I think.